Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United, brought to you by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. Ivorian will be here. Obviously, we're back on Tuesdays now. The only reason why you haven't been getting the Tuesday shows is simply because of Champions League football, obviously with the World Cup as well. The schedule has been packed. So that's why there's been so much European football and just back-to-back games, weekend, midweek, weekend, midweek. But please keep all your comments and questions Manchester United related, please. And make sure, first and foremost, before we even get into anything football related, whether you're watching this live right now or you're watching this back, hit the like button on the video. Vitally important you do that. Hit that like button on the video. Share this across all the socials as well. You can see my app right there. And that's me, Flawless. Share this across all the socials and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. And make sure when you subscribe as well, you hit that notification bell, people. Make sure you hit the notification bell. It is rolled to 5K, closing in on 4.5K. So we're going to get there. Then it's rolled to 5K. So I know some of you lot haven't subscribed, but like I said, keep all your questions, comments, Manchester United related, and Tottenham up next. After the Newcastle draws, so United will play tomorrow against Spurs, and then we play Chelsea on Saturday as well. Big up to Steve, as always, says, what's good? Big up, large up to Steve, who's also a member of the channel. The link for the membership is in the pinned comment as well. Many great perks in there, including how to get on the channel. So make sure Eddie, who's on the ManDem United show on Fridays, that's how we got on the channel. It was through the membership and then book. And then look, now he's a regular co-host on the channel. But I start with the Newcastle draw. It's a disappointing result at most. That's all I'm going to say on that. On the Newcastle draw, it's a disappointing result at most. But the performance was good. Would I have liked to have seen United create a little bit more? Yes. But I said it about the game versus Omonia before. I said it about the game versus Everton, which I think the Everton performance was Manchester United's best performance all season. If my only criticism of Manchester United performances after the game is we didn't take our chances, I'll take that. Because that means we are dominating games, dominating the ball, and creating enough to win 4, 5, 6. We battered Everton. We should have scored more than the 2 goals. We battered Omonia. Should have scored more than the 1 goal. Didn't batter Newcastle, but we created enough to win the game. Fred missed the open net. Rashford missed a header from 6 yards out. Those 2 chances there are criminal. Yes, Newcastle should have had a penalty. They should have definitely had a penalty, but we should have had 2 penalties. The one on Ronaldo and then the foul on Sancho. They're both penalties. They're outside the box. They both get given, like 110%. So with all that being said, I'm liking where we're going and where we're headed. I've already said Premier League is secondary this season. I'm just figuring out where this team's at because I don't know because the manager's new. But I like where we're heading. And Newcastle are a good side, don't get me mistaken. They're arguably the best of the rest. I think that is the general consensus that outside of the top 6, they'll finish 7th. And they were very good defensively. They surprised me. And we obviously, Manchester United had Martial missing. We had Eriksen missing as well. We had those 2 players missing. And it's shown. And this is why I've said from the start of the season, if you go back and look at ManDem United podcast before the start of the season, and it's a playlist on the channel for this show and all the other shows, I said the reason why we won't finish in top 4 is 1, our squad depth's not good enough. Our squad behind our first 11 is not good enough. And also going towards the end of the season as well, it'll get to a point where Ten Hag has to prioritize. Ten Hag will 110% have to prioritize a competition. So if we're in the last stages, we're in the quarterfinals, semi-finals of the Europa League, but we're also playing Premier League as well, he'll have to prioritize one or the other. When you take out Eriksen, you take out Martial, Donny's injured. You see how light our bench is. Look at our central midfield options. Look at Ivorian just dropping me a message in the private chat and I click you in when you're ready. Ivorian is in the building as well, people. Look at how light our bench is. If Casemiro or Fred get injured, our central midfield options are Zidane Iqbal and Kobbie Mainoo. And I'm not saying those 2 ain't good enough, but I'm saying in mid-October, not even 10 games in, 2 injuries takes us to that. If Ronaldo gets injured, who plays up front? Probably Rashford. And then Sancho goes out wide, but then say Anthony gets injured. then it's an Alanga. So an injury to Ronaldo, one to Alanga, one to a Fred, and it's Zidane, Iqbal, Alanga, and a youngster. Like, that's why I don't believe the squad is good enough. But I like what Ten Hag's doing. But we missed Eriksen. Eriksen was a big miss. Eriksen was a big miss. Like 110%. Let's see what Steve says. Are you concerned the players will turn on the manager when things get tough, or do you feel those bunch have improved their mentality? I trust the manager. If players do turn on him, he'll get rid of him. Luke Shaw said something very, 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 very telling. And I think it was Ivorian who may have posted it. When he jumps on, he'll be able to tell me. But it was a quote, I'm paraphrasing, but I will pull up the actual full quote. And he basically said, Ten Hag rules with an iron fist. And if you're not putting it in 100% in training, he'll drop you regardless of who you are. Basically, he don't play favorites, which is good. You shouldn't play favorites. It's a business at the end of the day, in terms of it's the business of getting results as Manchester United football, as Manchester United manager and for Manchester United Football Club. So no, I don't have any issues with the players. I think when you're in war, you find out who's down and who's not. That's what it is. You find out who's live, who's down for the cause, and who's not in war. Like, everyone can talk and say it, but you go out with your brethren, all your brethren gonna say, yeah, if we get into it, I'ma back you. And then when the scrap's going down, are they there to back you? Are they there either fighting or trying to break it up, or man backdoored it in terms of left the building? It's easy to say, and that's what it's like with this. So I trust the manager to weed out who's good enough and who's not good enough. 110%. I'm saying Ivorian is in the building as well. Make sure you follow. I'm saying Red United TV. Yes, Ivorian. What are you telling me, fam? You good?
I'm good, man. Big up to everyone as well, man. A bit of a difference now. Today I'm using my phone, so not on a laptop. The missus got that for studying and everything. But I'm good, man.
Your mic's moving a bit crackly though. Still,
it's the Bluetooth headphone.
Yeah, it's still moving.
Is it alright?
Nah, it's still moving crackly, fam. You sounding a bit robotic. Yeah. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Let me just
Steve, no stress, man. Steve says, to be honest, I didn't think the Varane challenge on Callum Wilson was a pen shoulder to shoulder. No, I think it was a pen. That's just me, though. I think it's a pen. Big up Sid as well. Yeah, no stress, fam. Sid says, confident for the game against Spurs. I'm confident going into every game. I'm legit. Every single match we've played recently, I'm confident going in. Once Ten Hag's turned this around and we start getting results, I think we've lost 1 out of our last 7 league games. I think we've lost 2 out of our last 10, 11 games. So we're tough to beat. We're not losing often and we're winning more often. And now we're starting to put in better performances. How defensively good we've been is being slept on because it's us. Because Manchester United have been poor defensively and Martinez has been getting cooked. That's all you'd hear about. Keep saying this. You don't hear about Martinez's height anymore. You don't hear about Varane being injury prone anymore. None of these things get mentioned anymore. Not one of them. I've not seen anybody talking about it. And then the one time it did happen when we got lost to City, and City are capable of doing that to anybody. Arguably the best team in Europe. It's the defense, this and that. But against Everton, we were fine. Against Omoni, we were fine. Against Newcastle, we were fine. And against Spurs and Chelsea, even though they're games we could lose, we're not going there and conceding. We're not playing those games and conceding 3, 4, 5, 6s to a Spurs or a Chelsea. I don't think we're conceding 3, 4, 5s to anyone apart from the best teams in Europe. You are Manchester City, at Real Madrid, at PSG, at Bayern Munich. That's it. Steve says, that's very true about Ten Hag. He sold Noah Lang, very, very talented youngster, but his attitude was poor consistently, so he got sold to Club Brugge. No surprise to hear that Ten Hag's doing this. That's what I like. I keep using this analogy, rule with an iron fist. Sid also goes to say, this week is crucial for United, so it's for Spurs and Chelsea, facts. But yeah, to answer your question, Sid, yes, I'm confident for Spurs. I think stylistically we match up against them. You know what I'm saying? We match up against them. We didn't struggle, Marcel. We were fine against Omonia. How did we struggle? We dominated the ball, dominated possession, created multiple chances. We just didn't score and then scored a late goal. That's absolutely fine. We did not struggle at all. I don't know where the struggle was happening, but each to their own. I noticed the improvement defensively for sure. Yeah, the improvement's there to see. In terms of people act like defense, or not you, Ray, but people will act like being defensively better means you're defensively great. Like, no, you can go from poor to below average. You can go from below average to average to above average to good, and so forth. People act like and people also act like it's just on clean sheets. People act like it's just on clean sheets. Like, no, you can be good defensively and improving defensively, but not have clean, but not but not be getting as many clean sheets as you should. Dude, United still have levels to go defensively, absolutely. We're not perfect, but are we miles better defensively? Yes. This is the best we've been defensively probably since maybe Mourinho, Van Gaal. So we're talking, what, 2017? You know what I'm saying? 2016, we're in 2022, nearly 2023 now. So yeah, like, I'm just looking at improvements. That's all I'm looking for. It's an improvements thing. And whether that's defensively, whether that's offensively, etc. Like that's what I'm on. Sid says the game against Chelsea going to be interesting for real. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. 110%. Oh yeah. Ivorian, you back? Bye,
yeah,
guy.
can you hear me better now?
That's better, fam. What are you telling me? You good, fam?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Big up to everyone that's tuning in as well, man. Sorry that I'm late. As we say again, Matisse always says lateness is greatness.
Greatness, facts.
You get me? I even come with great attire, so you get me.
Love that, fam. Love that. You know what I'm saying? And that. Love that. You feel me? You lot bump up the likes. Make sure let's bump up the likes. There's over 20 of you lot locked in, and we ain't at 20 likes. So let's move them likes up. And we'll get, you know what? You can answer this question. So Ray says, do you think you'll have trouble creating chances? Because I think Spurs will give you guys the ball and give you the responsibility of breaking them down. I'll let you answer first, Ivorian.
Jeez, tough question already. Do you think you'll have troubles creating chances? Well, to be fair, I'll be honest with you, Flawless, and everyone else that's tuning in right now. Manchester United have been, creating chances, let's say, against lesser teams hasn't been an issue. It's about converting those chances and being ruthless. As you saw against the game against Ammonia, where Manchester United had 25 shots on target, gazillion amount of chances created, because 1 million passes created the last week's game. But it's all about the way of them being ruthless in converting those chances. Against Newcastle, even against Newcastle, Manchester United did struggle to break the lines, and they're still having that last season syndrome of breaking the low block, unable to beat the low block. And against Wednesday, they clearly showed. But although, respect to Newcastle, they defended really well. They were tight as a unit. So that's to give them respect. Against Tottenham now, I think we will have troubles creating if there is no Eriksen fit. Because you can tell from the game against Newcastle, we massively missed Eriksen's level of creativity. Having Fred and Casemiro there, it doesn't allow the midfielders to be as creative as they can be. So if depending on Eriksen himself, whether he's going to be fit, then if he's not, Manchester United will have trouble creating chances, especially dictating from midfield. And again, it depends on how ruthless the players are, or also level down the chances created as well. So it just depends, man. I do believe it's going to be a tough game, but we will have some issues trying to create chances, because Tottenham is a defensively sounded team under Antonio Conte. So it's going to be a challenge for us.
Yeah, absolutely. To answer the question, Ray, Eriksen is key. I've said this before. He's arguably our most important player, and if he's not, he's definitely top 2. Definitely. So Eriksen playing or not playing in this game is key. Spurs will give us the ball, and even though I think we're a better team without the ball, I trust the players we have out there to create enough chances to the point where we will score goals. Now, don't get me wrong, people. People mistake the way I talk and being confident in my team, you know what I'm saying, as arrogance. But that's because certain teams aren't being successful, and certain fan bases don't want to admit that they're the manager out. But that's a whole different conversation. My point is, don't take my confidence for like arrogance or lack of respect to other teams. Could Spurs come to Old Trafford and get a draw? Absolutely. They have the players to do that. They have the manager to do that. And they're going to set up in a difficult fashion and a difficult manner. And they will be tough to break down. We're not going to, I believe without Eriksen, we create a lot. No. But I think we create enough to win the game. And that's going to be key. I don't know how, and it's also on how Ten Hag lines up. Put it this way, I'll say if Ronaldo don't start, we win the game. Ronaldo starts, probably draw the game. Because him starting games is like playing with 10 men. Because, even against Newcastle, like Anthony and Sancho were bright, Bruno, but Ronaldo gave us nothing. Even against Omonia, where we created a lot of chances, we had, I think we had 25 shots in their area. It was 30 plus shots in total. Mm-hmm. I don't remember Ronaldo doing anything. But I've enough speaking about Ronaldo, so I expect Ten Hag, and this is where I'm going to look at Ten Hag closely. He can't start Ronaldo tomorrow. Unless it's injuries, he can't start him. It has to, the front three has to be Sancho left, Anthony right, Rashford up front. It has to be. Bruno in the 10, Eriksen, Casemiro, and then the back five being the back five with Luke Shaw in there at left back. If I see Ronaldo and Rashford's on the bench or Sancho's on the bench, if we lose, I'm looking at Ten Hag like, that's on you. Because you've seen enough. Like I said, barring injury, because we know Rashford had the illness. But let's say Eriksen's not fit. It's even more impact because then it means it'll be Casemiro, McTominay. Then there's even more onus on Ten Hag to play the front three, I've said. And I don't think that front three is perfect, but it's our best front three. With no Martial. It's our best front three. I'm not trying to see Ronaldo. I'm not. At all. Ryan goes on to say United will not win tomorrow. I could see us not winning tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me. Shout out my guy Matisse every single time. Sid says, by the way, Flawless, not heard your take on Fred missing the opening goal and Rashford missing the easy header. You missed the start of the show. But yeah, criminal. I said it about Newcastle and we'll get Ivorian's thoughts. We missed that. We didn't create enough against Newcastle. No, we didn't create a lot against Newcastle, but we didn't create enough. But we did create enough to win the game. And when Fred misses an open goal and your striker misses a header from 6 yards out, I can't blame anybody but those two players. That's on Fred. That's on Ronaldo. That's on Rashford. That's on those two. Simple as that. Okay, you sending shots, we can send him back. Man, like Eric Ten Cones is not that guy overrating a manager. He's a bum. Where was the shot?
Marcel.
No. Here's the thing is, where was the shot? That's what I want to know. Because people always tell me speaking the truth as a shot. When I say certain fan bases want their manager out. That's a fact. I said it before a lot of your fan base, and not you, Marcel, before a lot of the Liverpool fan base was Klopp out. I said a lot of people want to jump on that bandwagon. It's just that they was waiting for somebody to get on the bandwagon and put the keys in the ignition. Ryan being one of them. I knew Ryan was Klopp out. He just didn't want to say it. They lost to Arsenal and he felt comfortable saying it. He was Klopp out long before that. Not you, Marcel. I don't know where you stand. But how is it? Tell me where the shot was. Because the shot implies it's disrespectful or it's incorrect. That's right. Don't get emotional about it. But we move. But yeah, your thoughts on the Newcastle game, Ivorian?
That game itself, man. To be fair, yeah. In terms of the first half, looking at that first half, Manchester United were poor, It was a half where Newcastle themselves was creating the better chances. Where I thought Manchester United could be more in control. But then again, you look at the midfield of Manchester United. I said it earlier on, Eriksen was really missed. And in the second half where Manchester United, amped up the pressure a little bit to try to take the game to Newcastle, it just showed exactly that Manchester United are not there yet in terms of the progress with Erik Ten Hag and the style of play. There's a lot to be worked on, because it could have been a game that Manchester United could have won. In respect to the comment regarding Fred missing an open goal, do you know what? There's certain things Fred can do and Fred cannot do. And scoring a goal is what Fred cannot do. And he's got two left foots. And can you really blame a midfielder that replicates the Anderson kind of vibe when it comes to shooting from long range? You remember Anderson. Anderson was terrible at finishing, terrible at long shots. And Fred emulates that same way. So Fred is a horrible finisher at the end of the day. So him missing that chance, I can't really pull it on him and say, you know what, that's on you. You should have finished it. Although he should have finished it as a professional football player, he should have finished it. But we know Fred's ability, and we know Fred will most likely miss that. Unlike the other guy that had a header, Marcus Rashford, pretty much a good opportunity to get the lead and score that goal. I've seen Rashford head the ball with his eyes closed. At that age, as a professional football player, you don't do stuff like that. Someone like me, when it goes for a header, that's not professional and most likely scared to head the ball, will do stuff like that because I'm not used to that. That's what I used to do when I was young.
I still do that now. I ain't gonna lie.
You feel me? When you're a professional football player, bro, your eyes need to stay open. Put some sellotape on those eyelids if you have to when it comes to heading the ball flawless. Because that was an easy chance for Rashford. And it had to fall for Rashford, you know.
Huh?
Yeah, but Manchester United in general, throughout that whole 90 minutes, were poor. Absolutely poor. What else can we say about that? There could be improvements, especially with the substitutions where you thought when you was going to bring on Rashford and you took off Ronaldo, which Ronaldo was muttering, you know, saying that, how dare you take me off, you know, I am CR7, I'm the greatest. But again, you know, he believes in himself. He knows he's a match winner. He has been a match winner from the past and proven. So I can't say too much about that because he's just being Ronaldo. In terms of players as well, flawless. I need to call HM Revenue and Custom to report Bruno for fraudulent activities because that guy is.
I knew he was going to tell. All right, talk about Bruno because he's you know what, for the first time I can remember, he's being analyzed like stats and numbers, and he's much more of a conversation after a poor performance. But go on, the floor is yours.
Absolutely, it's been many poor performance from Bruno Fernandes ever since last season. So Bruno himself, he isn't as impactful as he's supposed to be. I'm shocked because I thought Bruno would thrive under Erik ten Hag with guidance, you know, with some teaching. Like, yeah, Bruno, you need to be there when the ball comes in this kind of phase, in this phase of game, with this phase of play. You need to be also there. This is when you pass. This is when you shoot, and etc. With ten Hag's drilling, I thought it would improve Bruno, but Bruno has only improved in terms of his work rate, in terms of covering the grounds, but in terms of creating chances, the passing, it's just eluded him. He's terrible at dribbling. We all know that. We know Bruno can't dribble. And for a centre attacking midfielder, the fact that you're not even technically gifted is worrying me right now. You know, your inability to make the right decisions as well, and just lashing out at the ball to the goal just to get a goal for the sake of getting a goal is really concerning me with Bruno Fernandes, you know. I don't know, like, it's going to get to the stage where we may have to bench Bruno and buy a proper number 10. And I wouldn't be against it if it's next season, you know. He's been poor.
I wouldn't be against it if it was in January. Like,
if it was January,
I would have been against it this past summer. But you know,
no, to be fair, yeah, if it was this summer, if we would have gotten Frankie de Jong and Eriksen on top, because from articles, Ten Hag wanted both of them, regardless of, it would have been Frankie de Jong in midfield and Eriksen playing the number 10 role. I'll be honest with you, and Bruno Fernandes being on the bench because he's been poor. Like, let's call a spade because I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, how dare you talk about Bruno Fernandes after the things he's done in the past?" That's the past, like, you know.
Yeah. What have you done?
Forget the past. What have you done for us now? You know, anyone knows in any relationship, your girlfriend don't remember the good times. She only remembers the bad times, and I'm only remembering the bad time when it comes to Bruno. It's true. I'm not lying. She never remembers the good times you've had, but it's that one bad time that will just overshadow every GAs for Bruno in relation to Bruno is his goals and assists. Yeah, right now he ain't provided no goals and assists for us, so there is no good times right now for Bruno Fernandes. You get me? No one can be exempt for criticism. Doesn't matter who you are in life, you know. Right. Bruno Fernandes has been poor, and people need to come out and just be honest and just say this guy's been poor. You know, he needs to see some time out on the bench as well. Right. How often have we to say this? He's causing us some problems when it comes to creating chances and playing football, giving the ball away 24/7, spamming the ball away as well, hoping that someone will get at the end of these balls. He's been poor and it's affecting our game just as much as Ronaldo affects our game. Bruno affects our game as well.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Big up Vaya Games as well, says Large Up Flawless. Great preview. Listening while working. Respect. Big up Vaya Games every single time. Sid, yeah, we will get onto the Sancho and the 10. You lot continue to get your questions in. I will star all the better questions. Don't worry about it. Just keep it Manchester United related. So Sid, I'm gonna get to this. Don't worry about that. But in regards to Bruno, I don't even get upset anymore. I said this, I don't get frustrated. I said it on the watch along. I said it on any recaps I was on, and I'm going to say this here right now. And you'll hear me say this on Q&As. I fully understand what I'm getting with Bruno Fernandes. I know what he's good at. I know what he's not good at. And I just know he's just not a very good footballer. So I can't be surprised by his performances. He's been at my football club long enough. I have a big enough sample size of Bruno. I've watched him enough to see where his level is at. Whereas you look at Ten Hag, everybody just guessing. If someone tells you Ten Hag's a world-class manager, they're guessing. Someone tells you Ten Hag's a bum, they're guessing. I'm saying just with his Manchester United reign. You know why? He's not been here long enough. Man hasn't even managed 10 league games. You don't even have all his players. So that's unfair, and it would be the same with a Graham Potter, for instance, at Chelsea. It would be the same with any new manager going into a football club. You can't judge man of 10 games, 15, 20 games. Like, you can get an idea and you can think things, but like with Ten Hag, I've said this constantly. I like where this is going. I like where Ten Hag's going. I like what I'm seeing. I'm liking how he's proactive. I'm liking how he's running the team and dropping players. I like how he's being proactive off the bench. So I say all that to say this about Bruno. That's why I don't get upset. I know what he's good at. When we're in transition, counter-attacking, and Bruno can pick up the ball in space and has space to hit, fine, we've seen it against Arsenal. Easily one of his better games this season. Now when we're playing against lower blocks, and Bruno has to pick up the ball in tighter spaces, and it's behind the the opposition's midfield and in front of the opposition's defense, you see his deficiencies. Can't really play in tight spaces. Doesn't really play eye of the needle passes. Like, you'll hit space. You know what I'm saying? Rashford running onto it and Arsenal on the halfway line like clowns. Easy. That's Bruno all day long. Now, get him to pick up the ball on the edge of the D, pause, you know what I'm saying, in the game, and try and slide through a pass to a Ronaldo. Like, that's not he's not going to do a Modric. He ain't going to do a Cruz. Like, he's not going to do a David Silva. He's not a De Bruyne. He don't do that. So this is why I now don't get upset. I've been saying this about Bruno for the longest. There's a rant I had on this very show with me and Ivorian. And I don't know what sparked it, and my head was gone. And it's very rare. It's very, very rare I rant people. I'm gonna repost it onto my Instagram story. Because shout out to Ivorian. Ivorian clicked it and I posted it on mine as well. I always repost anyway. But someone said something about Bruno and I just went, I think it's like 9 minutes. And my head was just gone. And you know me, people, I don't really rant for like that long. Normally it's 2 minutes and I'm out. But I understand where Bruno is. I'm fully aware of how good he is and what he's. This is why I don't get upset. And I seen a stat and he was on Match of the Day. And it was like his goals and assists per minute. And I think when he first got here in his first season, it was like 42 minutes. Now, where he's at now, I think it's 409. And when the goals and assists dry up, you see what you've got. And it's just not a very good footballer. He's the only 10 top club that is shoot first. He's the only creative midfielder that is shoot first. When you think about all the best creative players, so whether it's 6s, whether it's 8s, whether it's 10s in the world right now, if we do a list of all those 10, I guaranteed you all of those are create first, pass first. Guaranteed. And now if you put Bruno in there, he's the only shoot first one. I'm saying, because you know who the other shoot first creative player is? Mason Mount. And what do you hear Chelsea fans criticize Mason Mount for? The same exact things Ivorian and myself and other Manchester United fans will criticize Mason Mount for. But on the flip side, the same things our fan base will praise Bruno for is the exact same things Chelsea fans praise Mason Mount for. Ironically, these are two football clubs that are not at the level where they want to be. Their fans are unhappy at where they're at, even with Chelsea having recent success. But they're just not good enough. And the reason why Manchester United have had success, I've said this, maybe Bruno can be an effective squad player. But if we're going to have success, Bruno has to be the third best midfielder. And we're getting good results. And guess what? Bruno's our third best midfielder. Because Casemiro's better and Eriksen's better. You see how this works, people? All of a sudden, you put more quality around him. Now Bruno's a talking point. Because no disrespect, it's no longer McFred under Ollie. You now have serious operators in terms of the manager. You got a proper manager. Despite the level where you think he is. You have Casemiro, who's quality, and you have Eriksen, who's quality. Those two are proven quality. Like, no one's doubting them in terms of their ability. So That's how I'm looking at it with Bruno. That's why I don't get mad. This is why I don't rant and rave about him anymore. But Ten Hag will see the light. And once we get a better 10, we'll be all right. And to Sid's point about Sancho in the 10, against certain opposition, I'd like to see it. But that's banking on Martial being fit. I'm not really trying to see Sancho in the 10 with Ronaldo up front. Because I'm not trying to see Ronaldo start. So if Martial's fit, Sancho, Martial, Rashford, Anthony is the 4 I'd like to see. But that's against certain teams. That's against certain teams. Like against Spurs, you are going to give us the ball, yes. But you can't play Sancho in the 10 in more high energy games. I'm not really with Eriksen behind him and Bruno and Casemiro behind him. I'm not really trying to. I'm not. And Ray, I don't even think he's getting drawn out. I think people are just seeing it. I think because we now have better quality in those areas and his goals. People get blinded by goals and assists. Like you can get 2 assists and play poorly. You can score a goal in a game and play poorly. Same way you might not get a goal and assist and play well. You might be man of the match as an attacker. But it seems like that's a foreign concept to certain people. But yeah. Anything else you want to add on the Newcastle game, Ivorian?
Just the fact that we was just poor, man. Just points dropped again, man. In my opinion, we should have won that game. You know, game like that at Old Trafford, especially the fact that flawless. It's been a whole month since Manchester United players have played in front of those at Old Trafford, and this the second game at Old Trafford where it's been just a ball draw. Luckily, McTominay saved us against Ammonia to get that going, but the weekend one should have done way better. I thought the players would be up for it. You know, they will do their utmost to win that game, but unfortunately, they let us down. They really did. You know, and especially the fact that it's a Sunday. You know, again just before the Manchester versus Liverpool, you would think that you know what, we're up for it because we need to win this. We need these 3 points. We want to get up there on the table. Look at it now. That draw means now Liverpool are about 3 points behind us, and we was laughing at them.
Yeah, true. True, we was. But again, like I said, it's just more, that result is just more disappointing. Other than it being disappointing, that's it. It's all about just bouncing back against Spurs.
But on the positive side, at least we didn't lose. That's the good thing. The positive side, we played against a good Newcastle team, minus their best player, Saint Maximum, not being there, and Alexander Isak not playing up front for them. We still managed to get a draw and not concede a goal. That's the good thing. Defensively, all we can say that we was great. We was solid and didn't concede, but so was Newcastle. It's just our offensive side of the game let us down once again. You know, and this can't run anymore. You know, we definitely need to find an alternative to Christian Eriksen playing in midfield. You know, I'm there asking myself, we can all scream and say Van de Beek, but bro, his own man's is not playing it, bro. And all of this is so they say, flawless. Of what?
So you don't think he's wait? You don't think he's injured?
You know what? Yeah, to me, it's just a polite way to say that. Yeah, he ain't in the squad no more, bro.
So you reckon he's not? You really?
Flawless, can you tell me what's his injury? Because I don't know. Ten Hag doesn't tell us.
I just know it's long term. That's all.
Long term what?
That being said,
long term depression.
I know. I like the fact that we don't know the injury because I don't know what Martial's injury is.
Yeah, we don't even know why Wan-Bissaka's injured.
I don't know what his injury is. But my point is, it's good that these things are not being leaked. I don't know what Maguire's injury is. This is a good thing. Like legit.
We don't know how long. We don't know.
I heard it's long term.
But this Donny one, it's just a.
I know. I heard it's long term. Go on, carry on.
But again, we definitely need to find an alternative for Eriksen. I'm even thinking, why don't you try the youngsters? You know, like Zidane Iqbal, who we saw in preseason and kind of impressed as well, same as Charlie Savage. To just try and get that creativity in that midfield, especially when you had Fred and Casemiro and you've made a change. And I believe he took off Fred for McTominay or something like that. I can't remember.
McTominay was suspended, so it wasn't McTominay.
Oh yeah. I don't know who he took off, but he took off someone. But again,
I'll check now. We'll go on, carry on.
Again, he can do much more better. You know, I'm starting to be surprised why Alejandro Garnacho is still not getting any minutes in our first team. You know, when clearly is good enough to be in that first team. But I am not the manager. You know, Ten Hag makes the decisions. I just stick with it and run with it.
Nah, Fred played the whole game. He only switched Ronaldo off for Rashford.
90 minutes.
Yeah,
he made one substitution.
Yeah,
I remember
sub,
that one sub. He had 4 subs. But again, it's not weak. If he believes in some of these players, like again, I said, if Garnacho's on the bench, he has Zidane Iqbal on the bench. And to make that change, make the change. You know, take the risk. At the end of the day, what's there to lose against Newcastle 0-0 at Old Trafford?
Yeah,
I hear that. Points.
Baines did say the same thing actually. Shout out to Statman Baines because he was talking about maybe, and I hear the argument of maybe going for it and throwing 2 strikers on the pitch. I get that.
Why not? Why not keep Ronaldo and put Rashford on and take off Fred and let Casemiro hold down the midfield on his own with Bruno Fernandes or something like that? He had the opportunity to do that, or take off Bruno if you wanted to, and if you wanted that speed merchant Rashford to be playing just behind Ronaldo or whatever. Of top, then you could have done that. But again, it's on our manager for not making those changes. Only one sub is not good enough because we would easily have a goal. Let's be fair. We easily had a go at that useless man that used to manage us when he never made a substitute in the Europa League final until extra time. We had a go at him for not making a sub for that. Yeah. So it's only fair.
The bench options he had was Miles Bell.
Oh, the scrub.
Yeah.
From the pass.
Yeah, his options on the bench was one thing I will say.
Yeah, his absolutely right.
Was Miles Bell.
But you should be able to have that little bit of trust in your players to say, you know what, I'll give you a chance. You know what, today I'll give you a chance. Zidane, get ready, put your shin pads on, get on the pitch, make something happen. Could have done that easily. You know, even if we don't even favor, even if we wanted to make the change in terms of the wings to add more quality or more speed, and you wanted to put Elanga in, put him in. You know, would have done something at least. 1 substitution out of 5 flawless, not out of 3. Out of 5.
I'm looking there, maybe minus Zidane Iqbal for you know what I'm saying. Minus it. Yo, keep going. 1 second, fam. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, one sec.
Yeah. So as I said, man, I remember not putting that Alejandro Garnacho on. I think he was on the bench as well, and definitely no. Sorry, sorry guys, I kind of lost my thought, man. What's that guy? What's that scrub's name, bruv? Anthony Elanga. Yes, Anthony Elanga was on the bench, and personally, he should have made that substitution again, guys. I don't respect the fact that making 1 substitution out of 4 when we needed to go for the win, just that one and changing it for Ronaldo wasn't enough to prove to me that you wanted to get the win and take the risk. If you was going for a draw, then I understand. Yeah, but still not good enough, man. You've had the opportunities to make those changes, and guys, he never did. He really didn't do that.
Yeah,
you know?
I was gonna say
those options.
Mine is Zidane Iqbal for Fred. That's the only one, or maybe like you said, take off a Fred, put on a Rashford, and go 4-4-2. I hear that. I hear the going for it. I do hear that. Big Up Veta says, what is the expectation of Casemiro? Consistency. You know what I'm saying? Do what you've been doing. Do what you've been doing in the past 3 games. Playing 7, 8s out of 10. If he's putting up 7, 8s and more, happy with that. You know what I'm saying? Offering us defensive balance, offering us steal in there. Even if our midfield is second best, I still trust him to put up a fight. We're not just getting absolutely dominated and just ran through. Like, I seen against Everton, him and Onana going at it. I'm with that, because that Onana a unit as well. He looks like a good player still. I have to watch some more Everton to see. He looks like not only for his height and like his strength, but he looks like a good footballer. So when he thinks like 6'3", 6'4", I'm like, yo, we might have to take him from Everton. It's like we should have put him on the coach with us. But that's my expectation of Casemiro. Good performances, 7 and 8 out of 10s. That's what I'm looking for. What are you saying, Ivorian?
My expectation for Casemiro is do what he does best: be a DM, dominate, protect the back 4, help in midfield to stop us being overrun in midfield. Win those tackles as well. Not just win tackles, but make the right pass and spray, because we've seen it that he can do that, Oh, and news just broke out that N'Golo Kante will be out for 4 months. These are a player that people were suggesting Manchester United should sign. But again, I'm happy with Casemiro. So yes, Casemiro just has to do what he does. Yeah. What he does best. And one thing about Casemiro that I love is the fact that he gets into the challenges and he gets himself stuck in and involved. And the fact that he can read the game. Reading the game is not for everyone. Ask Maguire, you can't read the game, bro. And it's not for everyone. And he does that exceptionally well. Anticipation as well. Anticipating where the ball will be or anticipating where the pass will be. to block that pass from happening. Casemiro got that in abundance, and he just needs to continue doing what he's doing. Build up stride by stride. We know he's still trying to get up to the match rhythm of the Premier League and the intensity, and he still understand that. But as you can see, he's improving game by game, and he's only going to get better. So yeah, just be that world-class defensive midfielder that he's always been. That's what we want.
Yeah. Big up Samela, who says, if I butchered your name, my apologies, my guy. Sancho isn't trying as hard as Anthony, slowly getting impatient with him, not risking it, not trying things, always back pass. He's too comfortable with goals performances, needs to step up. I wouldn't say I disagree with him not trying. He's not trying. There's no way Sancho's going out there and he's not. Here's what I'm saying, people, when I say the sky's falling. Is he playing up to the level we want him to play at? No, I agree with that. But to say he's not trying is just a blatant lie. That's just blatantly wrong. There's no way I look at Sancho and go, yeah, he's trying. He's not putting in the effort. He's putting in the effort. He's just not performing. Has he been better in the past couple of games? Yes. Like he's been a little bit more. Bainesy said this. He's been a little bit more aggressive with taking his man on. And against Newcastle, even though the bar was low, he was our best attacker out the front four. To me, it's between him and Anthony anyway. But with Ronaldo and Bruno, recipe for disaster. But I've said it before. I'll say it again. Sancho needs to step up. I do agree with that. He needs to step up. I disagree with he's too comfortable with goals performances. I think he's just not performing well. There's nothing to suggest that he's happy or comfortable with it. But does he need to step up? Yes. 100% he needs to step up. Like I said, I gave him the first season. This season, you need to level up. You do. I need to see more from you. But you're going, Ivor, and your thoughts on Sancho. Before you actually go, I would like to see him in the 10 in certain games. But go on, carry on.
Absolutely. Would like to see how he does in a number 10 position because he can potentially be more creative, more impactful than Bruno is right now. In terms of Sancho not trying hard, that's yeah. I'm with you with that. He is trying. Absolutely is trying because he's got some goals this season, I'm sure he's got about four goals so far this season. He scored against Liverpool.
He scored against Liverpool. Scored against Liverpool. Scored against Leicester.
Scored against Sheriff.
Scored against Sheriff. That's free. And did he score against someone else? He might have scored against someone else.
I'm sure probably is, but he got 3 or 4 goals so far in this season. In terms of the way he plays, people need to understand that that guy is a creative player. He's not someone that's explosive that will just go straight and go past players. He's more of a midfield, a playmaker on the left-hand side.
Link up.
Link up. And you look at Manchester United, how many times have I complained about, let's say, fullbacks going beyond the byline, especially someone like Luke Shaw, and he needs that. He used to play with someone like, let's say, what's it called? Hakimi in the past. Proper ballers that will do the overlap so he can find them and run on the inside channels. Until Manchester United themselves, in terms of getting the players to play the football that Eric Ten Hag wants to play, that's when you'll see the best of Jadon Sancho. Right now he's daddling, like I said before, and playing it safe like he's a condom. Yeah. You gotta play it. Sometimes you gotta play it safe, but I hate that. But with Sancho, people just need to get off his back, man. Let the boy live. Let the boy do what he gotta do. This is his second season. His first season playing under the previous regimes, 2 people wasn't easy for him. Well, this season now, it's just about him trying to catch up and get to a rhythm where the team themselves is functioning really well. People need to get off Sancho's back, because there's other problems. Like, why don't they talk about how Ronaldo's been poor throughout this whole entire season and we have to usher him for a goal all the time? Literally have to usher the guy in for a goal. Like, the goal's there. This is where you need to go. That's the problem. And then we've got Bruno Fernandes that's not doing well. But somehow Sancho's performance is much more alarming than Bruno Fernandes.
True say he's been better than those two. I'll give you that. But people won't mention it.
Has been.
Yeah.
But his performance is much more alarming than Bruno Fernandes, who's meant to be scoring he's meant to have a 40 GA record. So yeah, I just think it's just lay off the guy, let him do what he has to do. We don't get on. The media don't get on to Rashford and how poor he's been throughout the last 2 to 3 years.
Hey, you spitting from? You spin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
it's
hey,
true though.
agenda's
the boy
happy
live.
agenda, innit? And like I said, that's coming from me who said Sancho needs to step up this season.
He needs to
that's why I've not defended him this season. Like last season I did, but this season I'm not defending him. Like, you have to perform.
The old media wants to be on Jadon Sancho being poor, but look at Jack Grealish, 100 million man, not doing fuck all, bro, but sitting on the bench and just smiling. Like let's get facts right, man. Someone on our team, Sancho's been doing way better than Jack Grealish, but Jack Grealish don't get talked about. Why? Why is that?
Yeah, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? It's each to their own. Malcolm says, Flawless, when are you doing a cameo with X? When he shouts me. That's when I do a cameo with Expression.
Yeah, what are you doing with Expression, bro?
When he shouts me, I don't know X like that. Fire. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Expressions, you know what I'm saying? And he's doing his Expressions gone clear in it. We all know, man, one of the best in this content creator game. But yeah, Malcolm, like if Expression shouts me, that's when, you know, that'd be eventful because that guy, man, he's ridiculous, yo. Like, he's ridiculous. But I'm guessing him and Rance will do something. I'm guessing. I've not spoke to Rance about it, but I'm sure they'll. I know I've not watched the last episode of Band Sports Ooze, but I'm guessing they'll do something. I'm guessing. You'll see something. If it's not today, something tomorrow. I would guess so. But yeah, man, shout out to X every single time. James, I hope you're right. Cristiano getting his 500th league goal tomorrow. Book it. I hope so. What I'm saying, he does have a good record against Spurs. I think he scored a hat-trick against them last season. I hope so. Go on.
Oh, 500 league goals. Oh, so the 700 was a career goals. My bad.
It must have been a career thing. Yeah.
Okay.
You lot continue to get your questions in as well. Please make sure you hit that, get the likes up. Don't forget the NBA starts tonight as well, people. NBA is back. So the watch-alongs on Sarcasm City, on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch are back as well. So you already know this is going to be crazy. So we're back 12:30. That's half an hour after midnight, 12:30 a.m. UK time for the first game, which is the 7 Celtics versus the 76ers. And then following that will be the Warriors versus the Lakers. But all of this is on the upcoming live stream schedule. All of this is on the upcoming live stream schedule, people. So you'll have Celtics 76ers, 12:30 a.m. and then Warriors Lakers 3 a.m. So we're going to bring you both games, people. Don't worry about that. And yeah, Ray said it here, yeah. 700 was club goals. And Malcolm says him and KG have been going at it. Yeah, no surprise. You know what I'm saying? In that. No surprise in it. Shout out to X, shout out to KG, man. I love to see the ManDem doing well. Big up to both of them guys. Guys, have you spoken about Martial? Just joined, not to be negative, but it's sad at this point. It's the issue that we all knew was an issue with Martial. This is why I said the entire summer. Signed 2 strikers. I said it the entire summer. As much as I like Martial and I'm a fan of his ability, availability is an ability. And the most important one. Without it, you can be cold. Without it, like, you could be the best player ever. But if you can't get on the pitch, you can't get on that green grass, what use are you? Because Martial, when he's played this season, has played well. Well, he's not played enough. We've seen the impact he's had. So, yeah, it's nothing to do. Like, there ain't really much to say apart from we need 2 strikers. Even with a fit Martial, we need 2 strikers. But unfit one, we still need 2 strikers because Ronaldo's not good enough. Martial's injury prone. That leaves us with Rashford. God forbid Rashford gets injured. Who are we playing in the false 9? Bruno, Ericsson. I don't even know of any youngsters coming through. Don't even know young strikers coming through. Maybe Sancho, because we've seen him play central. Like, that's it. But yeah, the Martial thing is there isn't really much to say on it. We all know he's injury prone. But yeah, I've already your thoughts on it.
Do you know what, with this Martial thing? You know, when I said at the start of the season, I feel like we should have moved them on and all that kind of stuff. Although he was good, especially from the moments that we've seen him so far, we still need another striker. Martial just been, I don't know. Who did he upset in life to get as much? It must be the girls. They must have seen a witch doctor for him to go against him because his 2 past relationship has failed in terms of his marriage. So who has he upsetted in life? No, but it's true though. Why are you always getting injured? And why are women always leaving you? You know, why are you being dropped by a national team? Like, who are you upsetting? Which ancestors have you upsetted? Which ancestor of your family have upsetted in life for you to not be that successful in anything that you do? Like, although he's been successful as getting to Manchester United and be at the top of his be at the top of the echelon of playing for Manchester United in the sport, because it's not easy to become a footballer. Everyone knows that. So for those who actually got there, already made that achievement. So yeah, Martial just been unlucky, man. This injuries, and I'm tired. I really want to see
just
him.
Eddie to join us. I've already saying that, but go and carry on. You know what I'm saying? That's an Eddie comment if I've ever seen one. Of what you just said, go and carry on.
No, it's true though. Like, somehow I just feel like his family have upsetted some ancestors of the past, and they're just getting vengeance on any of the family members, especially Martial. And the fact that Martial has been so good when he's come on, so good when he started, and you can see that this is the season where Martial himself, will have a big impact under Eric Ten Hag. But it's so unfortunate that he keeps constantly getting injured, and it's like bothering me. Like, what's happened to you, my brother? Like, what's going on? Let's talk. Like, let's go to church. Let's pray. Let's pray. No, let's pray, because you've had 2 failed marriages. You keep getting injured. What's going on? Where's the balance? No, it's true. I'm really concerned about him, man. As much as I said at the start of the season that he needs to be moved on, I started seeing some hope in Martial when I saw him in the preseason. Then when I saw him against Liverpool coming off for that brief spell and then getting injured again, the 15 or 20 minutes cameo against Everton for the equaliser for Anthony, the guy was just oozing.
He was on, and the thing is, he wasn't even fully fit.
Yeah, he wasn't fully fit. He was oozing, and again,
he wasn't even fully fit. Yeah, big
so
up
what's
Marcel.
going on?
He was. Yo, you know what he is? He just Louis Saha, fam.
Oh yeah,
he Louis Saha.
Louis Saha, bro.
Saha can't stay fit. That don't know, Saha was quality striker Manchester United signed from Fulham. Left foot, right foot, quick, strong, good in the air, can hold the ball up, run the channels, could play as a lone striker, play in the 2. Just always injured. And I think when you are an athlete like a Saha, or when you're an athlete like a Martial, it can just happen when you're just athletic like that. When you think about it, athletics, I don't know, like, yeah, that's all I can put it down to. It's just look at the draw. I can't even put it down to anything. It's just look at the draw. That's what it is. It's unfortunate. Look at the draw. It's just unfortunate. Like, some people are injury prone, some people are not. Martial injury prone, Bruno's not. Bruno don't miss any games. Statman Bain said it to me again. I think he said 1 match Bruno's missed in the entire time he's been here in injury, with 1 game. Bruno's been here 2 years now. So I think it's just look at the draw. Big on my guy Eddie every single time as well. Paul said, doesn't Rashford owe us tomorrow flawless? Absolutely. All our attackers owe us. I'm looking at Rashford. I'm looking at Ronaldo. I'm looking at Bruno. I'm looking at Sancho. I'm looking at Anthony. Not all to the same. I'm not holding them all to the same accountability, but I'm looking at them. Whoever our front 4 is, I'm looking at. I said it against Newcastle. That front 4 has to deliver. So I'm looking at Bruno. I'm looking at, let's say it's Bruno, Ronaldo, Sancho, Anthony. Let's say it's those 4. I'm looking at those. Throw Rashford in the mix. I'm looking at that. But like I said at the very start, near the top of the show, I don't wish injury on anybody. That's too far. But Rashford has to play up front. I'm not trying to see Ronaldo start. I'm not. Yeah, Jez. I was going to shout you anyway. Jump. Yeah, Jez. I'm going to send you the link. Yeah. Get your thoughts on it. 1 second. I was going to shout you about this. But I know you be out and about uni hyping that. 2-2s. I'm sending you the link now, Jez. Give me a sec. Got it. Yo, you lot make sure you bump up the likes. Jez will be here. He'll give the Spurs perspective. He will give the Spurs perspective. Jez, yeah, I've just sent you the link. You lot continue to get your questions in as well. Eddie, you wilding with that. Jez, you also wilding. You lot are crazy. This is a bad idea. Alanga, Rashford, Anthony against a low block is not it. Low block, you have to play Sancho. If you're playing a low block, you play your more creative players on the ball. Now, if you're playing counter-attacking, Alanga, Rashford, Anthony, that can run. I'm saying but it's horses for course. Styles make fights. That's what it is. So stylistically, it depends what you're looking at. Not every boxer fights to fight the exact same way. You figure out who you're fighting and whatever their weaknesses are, so you try and use that against them. Like if a boxer has a shorter reach than you, keep him on the outside. If a boxer has a longer reach than you, then you fight on the inside and close the distance. You don't try boxing from the outside. That makes no sense. Like, and you utilize what your strengths are as well. On top of that, let me know when your Ivorian, when your back is calm, or Ivorian in the back as well. See, I can't lie. Ronaldo is probably the best option as the striker tomorrow because Martial is out. He's definitely not. He's definitely not. Rashford against the low block Tottenham. Rashford doesn't play well up front. I hear that, but he's still better than Ronaldo. At least he's going to give me energy, movement, pace, even against the low block. Ronaldo's done, James. He's done. He's finished. When's the last time he played well from the start? Somebody tell me. You know what I'm saying? Somebody tell me. Against the low block, Ronaldo is a better option than Ronaldo. See, you can't even type right, Ryan. You know what I'm saying? This is how much bullshit you talking. You can't even get the sentence right. You know what I'm saying? Welcome, like I'm saying, my young G into the building as well. Yes, Jazz, what are you telling me, fam? You good?
Hey, what's good, man? What are you guys saying?
Yeah, these lot telling me, talking rubbish in the chat, talking about Ronaldo in 2022 starting the game against the low block. No. What did he do against Omonia, people? No, not last season, Ryan. This season. Somebody tell me in the chat, when's the last time Ronaldo played well when we started a match? Somebody tell me. And then second question is, when's the last time Ronaldo played well against a low block? When he started the game. If we're going to have this conversation, let's have this conversation. Like, we need to stop and act it, or it's last season. No, I'm talking right now. Because I watched this guy play against Omonia twice. Again, last season, this season. This season, people. This Ronaldo shit got to stop, man. Hella sentiment, man. You shouldn't be starting games. Someone tell me the last time he played well started a match. We played Omonia twice and he was shocking. Omonia. Played Sheriff, he was shocking. Newcastle, shocking. When's the last time he had an average performance from the start? Not even good. This season, people. Don't bring me 2021. Don't bring me 2008. You know what I'm saying? No, again, Ryan, that's not the answer to the question. Tell me when's the last time Ronaldo played well. I'm saying people just see, people can't. This is crazy. I feel like Lewis when he was talking about Kai Havertz on this stream. Same shit. It's the same shit. Jez, what are you saying, man? You confident going into this game? Talk to me.
I said this already to somebody before. To be honest, it depends more on how we line up and how obviously United line up, to be honest. Like, who's available for the game, who's not available. Like, I need us to go and play a 3-5-2. I need us to play this Bissouma, Bentancur and Højbjerg midfield.
Before you continue, yes, he played well against Everton off the bench. Listen to the question I am asking. When is the last time this man played well starting a football match this season for Manchester United? You know what I'm saying? You don't have an answer. You know what I'm saying? Please. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying my best here. But it's like, how much clearer can I make the question? How much clearer? When is the last time Ronaldo started a game this season for Manchester United and played well? Don't bring me Everton. He came off the bench. Somebody tell me. I'm sorry to cut you off, Jez, but we just got to. Sometimes you just got to cut this shit and get to it. But I'm tired.
So
I'm saying, end the stream, Dave. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we'll get Jez back on. Just say he's not been good. It's okay to say he's not been good. Same way I've said Sancho's not been the greatest this season. He started enough this season. He started against Omonia twice. He started against Sheriff. He started against Newcastle. He started against Brentford. That's 5. How many more games do we need? He started against Sociedad 6. So he started almost half our games. Now he's barely started, man. Stop making excuses for the guy. He's just not good. And he started against weak opposition. That's the thing. He started against weak opposition. Omonia twice. Sheriff, Real Sociedad. And this guy's put up stinkers in all 4 games. Brentford, shocking. Newcastle, shocking. That's 6. Yeah, exactly right, man. Because man don't want to answer, man. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm the bad guy. Now I'm the bad guy. Now I say this. And now, oh, you have an agenda. No, he's just not good. Man, I do better than him against Sheriff. And I'm no striker. This guy offered nothing. Omonia. Teams we ain't even heard of up until this season. Okay, but man will get onto Sancho and all right, okay. You know what I'm saying, don't make me pull up like other games he started, because I've named 6 and he's probably started more. Man, Ray, man are making excuses rather than just say, yo, he's not been good. So therefore, I understand why you wouldn't want him to start. All of a sudden, he's gonna play well against Spurs, who are arguably, Spurs are better than all those teams I just mentioned. Defensively better than all those teams. Sociedad, Omonia, Sheriff, Brentford, Newcastle. Newcastle probably the only one you could argue.
I wouldn't even say Newcastle, to be honest. I think we're better than them.
It's outrageous. Sorry, Jez. Go on.
No.
Go on.
No worries.
Yo, get
like,
to it, innit? Start, innit? Like,
obviously, I see Ryan, obviously, in the comments say that Ronaldo was playing against us well last time. I don't think he played well. Last time when we played at OT, I don't think he played well. He just backed the hat trick, but it wasn't like ballistic that he was putting out there. He was just there in the right moment, right time, innit? Even I remember Conte saying it wasn't Man United that beat us. It was Cristiano Ronaldo who just scored 3 goals.
Well,
and it's kind of true. But now going to the game tomorrow, like I said, with confidence, it has more to do with how we line up. Like if I see a 3-4-3 with Lucas Moura as a right winger, because he doesn't want to change it to a 3-5-2. Trust me, bro, I'm not watching the game. But yeah, man. With United though, is Eriksen back?
We don't know.
This is the tricky part, because I think we have a chance if you play the 3-5-2 and Eriksen doesn't play.
Okay.
I think this is where I think we have a chance to. Then I quietly feel more confident about it, because I think Starkman already mentioned it, but I'll mention this already. I think obviously some United fans don't want to see Bruno in the 10 and want to just see Eriksen in the 10 instead. I think that makes Man United worse, in my opinion, because then you just don't have somebody in that 8 role that performs in the same way Eriksen does. So for me, it's like I think he's the game changer for me in that midfield, and I think we can win the midfield battle if he's not there, in my opinion. If you add Bissouma to our midfield.
Fez, Ivorian, you will respond to that in regards to what Jess said. If Eriksen's missing and they play 3-5-2 with Bissouma, that gives them more of a chance. Yo, you on mute, fam? Yeah. No stress, man. No stress. You lot get the likes up as well. Ryan, this season, I don't know how many times I have to say the same thing. This season, he wasn't shocking against... Okay, he wasn't good against Omonia, is my point. Tell me when he was... The last time he was good from the start this season. Because he's played 6 matches. And that's off the top of my head. He's probably played more. So he's been poor. But all of a sudden, he should start against Spurs. No. I'm saying, play Rashford then. He's not good from the start. How many times do we have to see something happen before people realize, yo, this is not it? Sociedad, Sheriff, Omonia, Newcastle, Brentford. All his better games have come off the bench. Because that's what he is. Off the bench, I'm cool with Ronaldo coming off the bench when we're chasing the game. Happily with that. Against Arsenal, Everton, probably his 2 best performances off the bench. That's where he's at. I'm not trying to see him start. Play Rashford. I'm saying in that. Play Rashford. Even against the low block, it's not ideal, but it's better. It's better. Because even with the back 3, where the space is behind the wing backs. Even though I don't think the wing backs will get too high, where there will be space, when you play that formation, is in those areas.
In those spaces, yeah.
So let Rashford drift out there.
Because the thing is, because I think we're gonna give United the possession. I don't think we're trying to go at United and play them off the park. But I do feel like we are definitely gonna be more short of like making sure that we don't give certain guys, like if Ronaldo ends up that's happening starting, that he doesn't just get too much space. If Rashford stays up top, I think we're gonna be well aware of him, how he's been used at, and I think where he might be trying to be at is like attacking that, because I think he will be trying to attack the left-hand channel between the area of like Eric Dyer and Romero, or even depending who the wingback is. Luckily, Emerson Royale is suspended still. May it continues, but yeah, I think it's for me. There's just a lot of worries, but for me, it's the midfield battle. I think if you can win the midfield battle, I think it's gonna be we going to be more comfortable? Because again, I've seen United fans say that Sancho and Antony, they've been playing hide, but they're kind of isolated. Obviously, Ten Hag wants his fullback to be inverted instead of overlapping, and which I think benefits us even in the sense as well, because I feel like, considering that potentially Perisic could be starting on the right wing back, and if United could see possession, I think overlapping that area would be making much more sense to me, because that left hand side, if Son has to come and drop down, Son is not really the most defensive minded player in terms of having to come and help out. Perisic is also not defensive minded either at all. So it's like that for us has been a really weak spot if them two are playing and we have to defend for like 90 minutes of the game. So yeah, it's a very interesting game. I think for us, our key player to have to step up, for me, is 100% for me is the goalkeeper, like Ruiz. I think he's been very shaky the last few games where like he's been making saves where like players can come on and make another chance. So I think I need him to start being more commanding. I do think our midfield, they need to be on it, which I think they've been on it all season, to be honest. Like I think I can't really criticize our midfield, to be honest. It's more about how the manager sets us up rather than them as players, to be honest. And yeah, Son needs to be on it as well. I remember the last time we played at OT, he was terrible. Like he was just slipping around, just running around doing nothing. I feel like he needs to be on it for us to have a chance as well if you play on the counter. And it's because his finishing this season also hasn't been there as well. So like it's an interesting game. Like I feel different. Like we play terrible football. But when I look at the statistics wise, we're actually one of the better teams in the league. It's more a question about can this team go further in terms of like sustainability. Yeah. If this can stay sustainable, we can have a good season. But my feeling is just that I don't think it's going to be sustainable unless changes aren't being made, and obviously signings coming in January. But for this period right now it's sustainable. The stats are proving it. It's hard for me to kind of argue against the people I have argued about it. It's for me, my concerns are more for the future, but for right now, I think we have a chance against United. I do think we have a chance against United tomorrow. But again, it comes all down to the manager, how he wants to set us
formation.
Up. If you play 3-4-3, I generally just don't know how we're winning that game, to be honest.
Okay. Well, 3-5-2 gives you confidence.
Yeah, that gives me confidence, yeah.
First. Paul says, out of 10, how much does Ronaldo annoy you, Flawless? I guess 10. Ronaldo don't annoy me. Ronaldo, ironically, is one of my favorite players of all time. His stands annoy me. Football stands annoy me. Players don't annoy me. Stands annoy me. Of any player, especially ones of my own, because it affects my football club. Rather than just answer the question, man will just not answer the question and dance around it. Like, rather than just say, right, he's not played well this season. I'm saying that. I had the same conversation, I think it was on a Q&A. I might have been a fan calling show talking about Neymar. And I said, I rate Neymar, but his stands annoy me. Like, that's what it is. Because people, they don't hear no criticism of it. Like, I don't do this stand culture. I can't stand it. It's really irritating. So it's like, I'm not here for it, innit? If we're just not gonna, because you lot ask me a question and I don't answer, then it's a problem. Let me do that. I don't do no questions. Everything you lot ask me, I answer. But let me start doing that, then it's a problem. So I expect the same back. Just because I ask you a question you don't like the answer to don't mean you don't get to not answer it. Nah. Time you out. That's why I just time Ryan out. You know what I'm saying? Don't time me. Right, don't do that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I always think it's crazy. Do I think Shaw or Malacia should start against Spurs? Personally, I think Shaw. Shaw's been the one that's been in decent form. He's played well in the past couple of games. I'd go with Shaw. What are you saying, Ivorian?
First of all, you can clearly hear me now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank God. Like, to be fair, regarding who should be playing so far, you know how I feel about Shaw, and it was so funny. Remember not long ago when you asked me who should start against Everton, I said Shaw should, because of course Malacia needs some time out. Yeah. I think again this game against Tottenham. Where are we playing, by the way, guys? I'm quite unaware. Old Trafford. Old Trafford, you know. This, I would say, continue with Shaw, you know, until Shaw shows that he's no longer on top of his form, because right now he's got the better form out of him and Malacia. I would have preferred for Ten Hag to go for Malacia, but again, want to use my head and go with Luke Shaw. I was gonna say something earlier on before I had to come out the stream to sort out my audio regarding Jez. I can understand that he's a Spurs fan.
Yeah,
and
yeah, shit, we
definitely
not met Ivorian. Meet Jez, meet Ivorian. I forgot you, man. Had met
the whole
Macarian.
entire time I thought
Yo.
Jez was a Manchester United fan.
No, he's Spurs.
Throughout all the streams, but big up to you as well. And I was saying something that definitely against Tottenham, with Tottenham playing the 3-5-2, we definitely need an Eriksen in midfield. Because again, we don't want to be overrun in midfield. And Tottenham are quite good, especially with the Bentancur, especially with
Højbjerg.
who else is in that midfield? Højbjerg as well.
Yeah.
They can carry the ball very well. So there will be a threat as well. So we need to be playing Eriksen to help dictate the midfield of Manchester United and support Bruno Fernandes, and whatever Bruno does against Spurs. Because I know he won't turn up. I know he won't. He won't at all.
I can't remember the last time he turned up ever against us since he's been at United.
Yeah,
I don't remember a time Bruno turned up in any big game. I don't remember.
That's also true.
Dominic says United should be confident against Spurs low block. With our recent performances, our attack are bound to score goals against Spurs or Chelsea. Like I said, I'm confident going into the game, but it won't be easy. It's definitely not going to be easy. Like 100% it won't be. I'm a big fan of Son. However, a few seasons ago, and he annoyed me with his antics. Do you remember diving? I think he got one of our lads sent off even. I don't remember, but hey.
No, I think he's got that wrong person.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I remember Eric Lamela with Martial.
Yeah, this was it was Lamela, yeah. It was Lamela.
And there was no dive involved, but yeah, not to my knowledge. But yeah, we'll see people. Like I said, we will be doing a live watch along of the game tomorrow here, and because United kick off at 8:15, and the Brentford Chelsea game is 45 minutes before. We'll start with that one, and then 45 minutes after, then we'll watch then we'll go into the Manchester United game. But I'm sure other people will be on the panel watching other Premier League games as well. But I think that's it. Anyway, large up the chat as always. Big up all of you lot. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, follow Ivorian, subscribe to Ivorian's channel, Red United TV. The link's in the title, people. The link is in the title, so make sure you do so. Before we get out of here, though, we are gonna get everybody's predictions. So yes, we'll go with yours. Predictions. Obviously, you did mention the two lineups, so you can give it with both lineups.
If you play a 3-4-3, I think you're gonna lose 2-0. And if you play a 3-5-2, I think this is gonna be tricky. I think we can win 2-1.
Okay, so you're saying, right, it's a swing like that from a win to a loss, or basically?
Literally, for me, it's a formation thing, and also who we playing. Because I don't think in a 3-4-3, we need our other winger to be kind of more creative and gives us some sort of balance. That's why I said, I always said this, we can't be playing this 3-4-3 formation if Kulusevski is injured. I'm so pissed that he can't play this game, because I feel like, for me, so far, he's our second best attacker, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
First. What I'm saying. What are you saying, Ivorian?
But the way Manchester United are playing right now, especially at Old Trafford, I'm seeing it as a 1-1 draw against Tottenham. Manchester United got a lot to do to try and beat Tottenham, especially when Tottenham will go with 3 at the back and play 5 in midfield. If Eriksen is not fit, it's going to be an issue. If Martial's not fit and we play Ronaldo up front, I still think we're going to struggle to get some goals in. If we can get a front three of maybe, let's say, for example, because I've heard that Rashford has missed training or something like that. So I'm not too sure if he's going to be fit. But if we can get an Anthony, a Martial and Sancho, then we've got a better chance of trying to get something against Tottenham. Or Rashford involved as well. As long as we don't play Ronaldo up front. Sorry.
Yeah.
As long as we do not play Ronaldo up front, then I feel like Manchester United could get a win. But overall, in my opinion, from our form so far, in terms of creating chances and converting those chances and being ruthless, and especially against Tottenham. Tottenham are a good team. I see Manchester United drawing 1-1. Jazz, I know
Oh
you're probably
man,
thinking, wow, but it's the
nah, I
truth.
see. I hear it because obviously the thing with United, obviously, the reason the finishing has been very terrible, isn't it? Because I've been watching them United games, seeing what they're up to. Because obviously we playing literally tomorrow, and it's a thing. Because like, obviously, there's another possibility where like Cristiano just does what he does against us every time when we play him, and it just turns up. Because even when I looked at his goals, even when he was in the Premier League, even from early on, I think Tottenham is up there with the most goals he's scored against in the Premier League side, against the Premier League side. So it's like I don't know what it is. I don't know what we did to him or his family or so. Maybe it's that was a Tottenham supporter. I don't know, but I don't know, fam. But it's just this guy just like I still can't believe we lost that United game because I genuinely thought we were better than the United, but Ronaldo just turned up before hat trick. I was like, he wasn't even good. Like I don't know. He's a weird guy when we play against him. Like it's
And
like
that
I don't know, but it's
that
gonna be an
3-0
interesting
was
game.
at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, right?
Yeah, it was Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but that was under Nuno, and I could see that
Oh
loss
yeah,
coming
yeah.
in. This one minute was the Sakiko. I'm still glad we lost that.
Oh yeah, that was the yes, it was the El Sacico, and then ended up going home,
Oh,
being sacked.
he had to. I was praying. I can't lie. I don't do that a lot, but I was actually seeing when Ronaldo scored that goal because like I needed him gone, man. I needed Nuno gone for. It is what it is to be honest. But see, but would you be surprised though if United win tomorrow? Though?
Yeah, because again, I'm not entirely confident going into the Tottenham game, just as much as the Chelsea game. I feel like it's not the best time to play Tottenham and Chelsea back to back without another team where we can just get our form back together. Ever since we've had those games where it's been postponed and cancelled, Manchester United's momentum has just dipped down after the international break and going straight into the Man City game. I said it to Flawless, I'm not confident going straight into Man City game, especially after international break, especially not having that much games played after when the Queen passed and the postponement happened. Tottenham's another tough game for us at Old Trafford, and we haven't shown what we're made out, and we're not creating chances or converting the chances into goals. There's just something about Manchester United that still needs working on, and especially these players. I don't trust every player that we have entirely, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens tomorrow against Tottenham. Hopefully, we can get the positive result, but I think it's going to be a draw.
Saying draw. I'm gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Eriksen is key. Eriksen is key. With Eriksen, I think it's. With Eriksen, I say 2-0. With Eriksen. Actually, but it also depends on the front four as well. So it's tough. It's tough. You know what, people? Ask me when the lineup's out. That's where it is on the watch along.
This is for me. Like
Trying
if
to
I see,
think.
like
Yeah,
I
it's
said,
that
people, like
lineup.
I said, man. When I say, I'm literally saying it. If I see Lucas Moore starting tomorrow, I'm sorry, I'm not watching. I had a long day from uni. I'm trying to rest. I try to watch this game in peace, even if it's gonna be hectic. I don't care, man. I just don't. If I see Lucas Moore come back, man, and he starts, nah, man, he got me fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's still predicting the United win. It'll just be much tougher. No Eriksen with Eriksen, even with the Ronaldo playing. With Eriksen, it's like 2-0. Like no Eriksen and Ronaldo playing, 1-0. I'm still predicting a Manchester United win either way. I think the way Spurs play and just sit back, they'll give us enough of the ball where we will create and take our chance. Whoever that falls to, whether it's Ronaldo, whether it's Bruno, whether it's Anthony, Sancho, Rashford, any of those five. It is. So yeah, that's what I'd say on that. Don't forget as well, people, the latesttrends.net. Make sure you check it out. The latesttrends.net. Brand new online designer clothing and footwear shop featuring the latest trends from top brands such as Fendi, Givenchy, Prada, D&G, plus more. So it's the top designer gear at affordable prices, so at great discount, people. So make sure you check it out. You can see it there, www.thelatesttrends.net. Go check it out. Both male and female as well, clothing, and male and female accessories as well. So man that we were watching right now can go get something for yourself. Or Christmas is coming up. So if you want to get something for yourself, you can do that. Or you might want to get something for your other half. You feel me in that? Maybe you want to do that. You feel me? Like, that's what I'm saying to all the man. I was saying, if there's any females watching, you may want to go get something for yourself. Or you may want to go get something for your other half. Like I said, the latest trends.net. Make sure you follow him on Instagram as well. Make sure you go follow the Instagram and go browse the website. But yeah, we're going to close out the show anyway. We're going to close out the show. Jez, bless for jumping on. Anything you want to
add? People join the NBA streams. NBA's back. So we're obviously doing the game that's is it past midnight?
12:30. Yeah,
12:30 is the game, and obviously then later on the West Coast game very late. So make sure you tune in for those games.
100%. Ivorian, anything you want to add, fam?
Big up to everyone that's tuning in today, man. My apologies for the lack of quality in terms of my device, just the sound and everything. You know, but these people are not used to having Ivorian Spice lacking like that. They're used to having a green screen, a mic, clear, everything, nothing interrupted. But today, it's just one of those days where I had to give up my personal device to give it to my missus so she can get her work out the way. You know, I had to take a sacrifice and take
you
that
did,
L.
man. Noble guy, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what you have to do, fam. 100%.
It's gotta be done. But big up to everyone. Make sure you subscribe as always. Smash that like button. And of course, guys, one thing I want to ask, guys, when the show is done, drop some comments. Let us know what your thoughts were on the show. We need to know. You know, you can't just watch something and not put any comments on. You agree with everything, or did you just? I'm sure you disagree with something. You must put some comments down. We need to know. You know, just Florence as well needs to know.
Yeah, let us know, people. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's not lying. Let us know, people. Let us know. We're always open to hearing your thoughts. Big up everyone in the live chat as well. I'm saying big up all the people who just watch and just be chilling watching it, and all the people who watch it back afterwards as well. Like I said, go subscribe to Ivorian's channel, Red United TV. The link's in the YouTube title. So you click the link, it takes you right to his YouTube page and you subscribe. No reason to not be subscribed. Jez already mentioned it, back at 12:30 a.m. people. So 3.5 hours from now, we're back on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch, though, for the NBA watch-alongs. Celtics versus 76ers and the Warriors versus the Lakers. Don't forget as well that this show is available on the audio platforms as well. So you can get this on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. Type in Sarcasm City TV because you might not want the YouTube app open. You might want to listen while you're at work. You know what I'm saying? You might want to listen while you're cleaning, while you're driving, while you're cooking, or you might just prefer to listen to your podcast in more traditional podcast means, you know what I'm saying, in the older format, which is cool. So yeah, love to everyone who's locked in. We're back soon. This has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up.